What up, what up, what up? It's your boy, Norton. We out here on the V Practice Podcast.
Brr, 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 brr.
Brr, 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 brr.
Thank you, everybody, joining us again. Vital's B Practice Podcast. We're freaking back. It's been months since we've done this. I want to give a big shout out to Max's Tires, Berg Tech Components, and Jensen USA supporting us in 2026. I want to give a big shout out to everybody that actually tunes in and listens to us chat about World Cup Downhill. We've been doing this for a number of years now. I'm always stoked that we still have this going on. So B Practice, another year. Here we go. But today, we are here to talk about Dak's new team for the year. A lot of people have been talking about this, Dakotah. A lot of talk in our forums about it. Let's just come out and say it. You're riding for Frameworks with Asa and Anna. American Dream Team. How do you feel about it?
Yeah. Big fan of the I don't even know what to say. Get out of here.
It's even funnier because you have a Scott shirt on. It's really making it.
Dude, you know what? Actually, now that this has come out, I've probably already punked you guys, but I'm recording this now. I'm going to put a pic because my girlfriend is, she's got something going on with another bike company that's rumored to be one of my future sponsors that obviously isn't my future sponsor. So I'm gonna punk some dudes on the internet and freaking put another bike in the back of a photo. I'm not gonna say what it is. I don't want to ruin Frida's beef, but I'm gonna do some punking this week and before this comes out. I'm gonna stir the pot pretty good.
That's perfect.
I'm gonna sneakily put another bike in the background.
I like that. I'll get that in our forums and push it a little bit.
Yeah, push it a little bit. No, yes. Going to Scott. There's some rumors. What is that? That dude from the paint store down the street, Scott? That's what I know. That's what everybody's asked me. It was like, they were like, "Oh, what are you doing?" And I was like, "What's that dude's name from the hardware store down the road?" Scott. But doing some gambling.
Dude, well,
That's right, brother.
Yeah, take us through.
So are we teammates, Tanner?
It's one of the questions on there.
Yeah.
You know?
That was Tanner's only note for this podcast.
Yeah. I just wanted to know, how does it feel to be like teammates with a big time athlete like myself? You know, it's been a long time coming.
Honestly, right now, if the people could see you, you look like a cleaner cut version of me. You might be my dad. Oh, dude. Yeah, I'm stoked. Actually, here, let me open up the notes so I can get on task here. But
did I send you notes for this?
No.
Okay.
You didn't even
kind of
send
on
me the
purpose.
notes. Oh, okay.
Shooting from the hip, baby.
It is
Come
from
on
the
with
hip.
it.
Well, hold on. Let's start with, you just wrapped up 2 years on Mondraker. Can you give us a little bit of insight on like that coming to an end? Is that your choice, their choice, mutual?
I'd say it's probably mutually agreed. There wasn't an option to stay, but I was already looking at what the future would look like as well. So, but no, it was all good. I think with the industry right now, and they have a lot of changes going on, and maybe not the most perfect fit, but really happy like with where things are going and how things turned out, and yeah, it's all good. All good in the neighborhood, baby.
Was okay, so Scott coming about, take us through that relationship opening it up, and then like, you know, what'd you have to weigh out? Like, you know, you just kind of mentioned the industries in maybe a unique spot. I would say that sponsorships aren't the easiest to come by right now. So I would guess you had not as many options on the table, or there was some different things you had to navigate to end up there.
There was definitely options for sure. And they reached out to me pretty early on, and I know, you know, that made me feel really good that they reached out to me, and they wanted to pull me onto the program, because we had actually talked about working together in 2018 when they hired Dean, and I decided to stay with Da Vinci at the time, and continued my relationship there. Of course, my goal is to keep the relationships for as long as possible, and find a good home and stay there. And unfortunately, with Da Vinci pulling out, there was no room for me to stay with the Junior program, which that was a great race team that I was on then. And yeah, so it didn't work out, and now here we are. It was Patrice reached out to me, and then Ben Walker reached out to me and really wanted to make it happen. And then YT folded, and things were, there's a lot of riders on the market for a while. And it there were more riders than there were rides, I think, for a while there, and a little bit touch and go. And some things maybe didn't work out, and other things looked really good. And I just decided, Scott is a big brand. They're in a really good place. They're strong. They're not just in cycling. They have the goggle company. They have they do a lot of stuff.
We got skiing. We got running. We got
yeah,
snow sports.
yeah.
Head to toe.
They're in a lot of markets, and they make great products. I mean, like I don't think people really realize how sick all of the Scott catalog is. I mean, they make sick Gore-Tex stuff. Yeah, they just have really, really nice stuff and nice bicycles, and the whole portfolio of bicycles that Scott has, they're all sick, and they have a really good XC bike, really good road bike, and bikes that I want to ride, and people that I want to work with. So when the opportunity opened up, yeah, we had been talking off and on, and towards the end of the year there, it got pretty serious, and they really wanted to make it happen. I had some other options, and I rode the bike and was really happy with the bike. Actually, pretty pumped on the bike straight away. I was like, whoa, this thing's really good. And yeah, signed the deal.
I mean, I'm stoked for you. Pretty sick.
Yeah, super sick. I know that the team, maybe from the outside, and in my personal perspective, was pretty Euro, and they had a lot of Euro riders.
Mm-hmm.
And now that I am working with them a little closer and in contact, and yeah, it's not as Euro as I thought it was, especially from the Scott side. They're Switzerland, but both the guys I deal with are now, they don't live in the US, but they're American. And Patrice is multicultural. He's lived in a lot of different places, and yeah, he's definitely he definitely looks very, very French, but you get talking to him, and the dude's super smart, and he's super switched on, really organized and on it. So it's been really good so far, and I'm really excited to kind of get things rolling and meet the rest of the program. Obviously, Benny is a ripper, and he's a mud assassin, and Ethan's super fast, and he's showed great potential. And I think we got a really good group of dudes and chick, and it'll be sweet.
Hell yeah. What's it like going from the past two teams you were on? You were heavily developing a bike, to Scott just launched that bike this past year, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's new, so I'm sure you guys are tweaking and be working on some stuff, but does it feel good to just be going into got a new team, I got this bike, it's all been worked out, we're just going racing?
Yeah, and you know what? This is where I think, as a professional, you have to have a lot of respect for the work that the dudes did last year. Obviously, Benny did a lot of runs, and I said to Patrice pretty early in the year, before we even talked about team stuff, and I was like, "There's no substitute for that amount of work. You do that amount of work, you're going to have success. I truly believe that." And I mean, when I rode the bike, I was like, whoa, sick, really good. And the bike is, I mean, I know they have some stuff they're working on, and I'm sure there's going to be things, and I'm sure there's going to be things we're going to be working through. And, they have a lot of options. They've done even more work from when the bike was launched. So and it's new for me, Michelin tires. I think when the launch goes live, I technically think I can say all the components and new sponsors and stuff. So we have a little different rim sponsor, which I'm super pumped about. Fox suspension, which it is really nice to have a pretty good starting place with the suspension. It's not like it's all new, so it's mostly going to be tires and frame. Of course, there's going to be suspension tunes, but I already know my preference of the bias of where I would like to go, and I think there's nothing crazy with the linkage. Like, it's all pretty normal, and it's a 6-bar bike. They can change everything independently. So then it's just like, leverage, progression, which we have a lot of options on, and then frame rigidity. It is carbon, so it's not like it's going to be too much of a noodle. I would assume, and I don't know yet, but I'm assuming we're going to be working on compliance, which they have options for that as well. So just like anything, I mean, it's a lot of work and it's going to be a process, but also having a lot of respect to the work that the guys have already done and other professionals that are really high level in the sport, and having a lot of respect for them, and then trying to bring what I can to the table to add value to what the work that they've already done.
Sick.
Sorry, I was making sure the recording was still going. Where do I want to go from here? I feel like you're so good at talking, Dakotah. You're just so smooth.
Yeah, talk too much. That's why I was late for the podcast.
Oh yeah. So let's go kind of straight into it. What how long is the contract for then? So because you're saying you got a lot of work ahead of you, but also like there's some foundation there. So how long is the contract? And then
3 years. Really excited about that. So I'm racing, dude. I'm racing to 36. Come on, let's go.
Come on.
Old dog, new tricks.
Yeah.
Let's get jiggy with it. No, I'm really excited. A lot of security, and yeah, I mean, that goes both ways, right? It's always scary, like signing a 3-year deal, because you're like, this could be really bad, or could be really good, could be really bad. You never know. But I really believe in the people I'm working with, and I feel like the decision was, anytime that they reach out to you, it's always a good feeling. And then I know what they're looking to achieve, and I know what I'm looking to achieve, and I think like they've been through it, like there's like the last year they've had some not great years, they've had some really great years, and it's like, I think there's something to be said for history in the sport, and if you look at where the team has come from to where they are now, I mean, from like Patrice has built that team like from the ground up, like literally from the very start, and they've had a lot of success. And then they've had years where it wasn't so successful. So it's like they're not jaded they understand how hard it is to get really good results at the races, and they're willing to put in the work. So that's, I mean, to me, really cool. And Scott is very committed to developing a great bike, and it seems like, from what I can tell, that they're really ready to, they want to do good. So
yeah, kind of maybe looking at year ahead, 2 years down the road. I mean, you're coming off you're over a year now since getting hurt, and last year was all about coming back, the build, coming back. Maybe it's a 2-part question. One, you had a year where you didn't have results because you were hurt. Did that come into play, trying to find a new team? And then 2, where's your head at going into this year now that you're, we'll call it, recovered? I'm sure it's still always evolving, but
yeah, dude. I mean, the first part of that is like, well, you'll have to refresh me on the second part of that after I put my thought into this. But
like, was Mondraker bummed on the fact that you were hurt all year, or were they fairly understanding? I mean, obviously it's kind of a business thing at the end of the day, so it's understandable in both ways.
It's a business decision for sure. I can't speak for them, and I have nothing bad to say. Like, they fully supported me through coming back, and I wasn't exactly crushing it at the races, and still had a mechanic there, and was still doing it, and could barely walk, and I think that the investment paid off at the end of the season. I think that the story was really cool. Like, if you just look at like the story, it's like pretty gnarly. I think what I did, I'm very proud of what I did, especially to finish the season that strong. I know Lake Placid wasn't great. I blew it off the track. And the tracks that were like to my strengths, I could do good because the strength it takes to have world-class foot pressure to race downhill at a super high level is one, really hard in general. So if you're like 1/3 of the strength on one side of your body and you land in a compression and your pedals are spinning back and you're hooking a left every time you land, it's pretty hard to get on a World Cup podium, or at least close to it, right? OG podium. So I'm really proud of that. So when the conditions were good, I could rip. When it was like grippy and I could just like pump, carry speed. But when it was like dusty and loose, I wasn't strong enough to be as precise as I need to be when the grip wasn't there. And I think that'll come. And you know what? Maybe I would have struggled in those conditions as healthy me. It's not linear. Like, success is not linear. Results are not linear. You don't just get better and better every weekend. It's like you have a good weekend, you throw it in the weeds the next weekend, and then you come back and it's okay. And then you have a good one, and then it all goes to shit again. And that's just World Cup downhill racing. Like, everything's great, and then you tuck the front and you're like laying in the woods wondering what happened. That's like,
I just wish like 2017 Dakotah could have heard this from 2026 Dakotah.
yeah, I mean, success is not linear. And you just like, I thought that I would just like continue to get better, right? Like, I'll get a 30 and then I'll get a 20 and then I'll get a 10. Well, it's like I didn't qualify and then I got a top 10 and then I sucked. And then and it was all really dependent on the track. Like, when the track would suit me with my, let's call it, what's the word I want to use? Handicap. I could do well. US Open was right up my alley. It was grippy. It was consistent. It was just pump, carry speed. There was no big compressions that I couldn't take the compression without folding. But also, like, it's like one of those things where it's like, it's all good. Like, they'll support you, but doesn't mean that you're getting renewed, like, yeah, there's no pressure, but
yeah. Well, it sounds like you kind of had a bit of that feeling anyways, though, if you were keeping your options open throughout the season, that is.
Well, it's just one of those things, it's like I went from being the dude and was like one of the hot topics and then wasn't shiny anymore. And it's like, I think anybody that's smart enough to know that, like, if I'm going to recover from this injury, I'm going to come back to be a world-class athlete. Like, I'm not done. Like, Amari Piron is still going to come back to be Amari Piron, and I'm going to come back to be Dakotah Norton. It's just, the reality is, it just takes some time, like, especially when it's not even the injury, it's the non-weight bearing status. Like, that wrecked me. Like, it's hard to even explain. Like, I was talking to Stu Baylor down at the Shoals, and he was 2 months, 7 weeks non-weight bearing. And he's like, dude, my leg is tiny. I'm like, yeah, brother, tell me about it. Like, I understand. And like I said, I did put up a little bit of an Instagram post, and I was like, what I did, I'm very proud of. Now that it's happened, it sucked, but I have a renewed sense of why I do this and what opportunity I have to do something really incredible, and to put my best effort into it. So it's just kind of one of those things where it is what it is. I had to go through it. I learned a lot from it, and really excited to go forward from it. I guess I don't know if that answers your question, but I think there was a two-part thing there. So you can, like, I don't even remember what the question was, but I'm rolling.
I think that answers most of it. I mean, the second part was just looking at this year, then where's your head at? Like, what if you get to October, whenever the hell the season ends this coming year, and you look back, like, what do you want to have accomplished? Or I
just want to give it my go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, even like further than that, like, what is like your why and like your big purpose, I guess. Like,
honestly, I think I've already achieved more in the sport than I ever thought was possible. I'm a washed up dirt bike racer, has been, never was, from the flattest place you could ever imagine. Like, I was an average at best amateur, like, expert level BMX racer. Like, I was never extraordinary at anything. and now I'm better at riding a dirt bike than I ever was when I rode dirt bikes, and that's which is kind of funny. But I saw, with that being said, I've already done so much more. Like, to come from where I was and what I had to do, what I've done, is like more than I could ever ask for. But with that being said, I don't feel, I was so committed to a result. Like, I wanted to win a World Cup, I want to win a World Cup, I want to win a World Cup. And then, like, through like looking at maybe a greater purpose, it's like, well, I want to live a more fulfilled life. I want to be happier away from the races. I want to learn to be happier. This whole process of this year, why I went back to the races so early before I could ever race, is like, yeah, that pressure to win. The reason I never won was because I wanted to win so bad. I wanted to be this. I wanted to do this thing. I was so reliant on this result, and it's like, I didn't even look at the impact I have, or the precedent I can set for the kids, or any of these things that I think people like really like who I am and my story and how transparent I am, and the strengths and the weaknesses, and when things go good, things go bad. I think people respect that, but I was just, all I cared about was that number. And if I got 15th, the whole weekend was just a write-off. I was pissed, left the track, and I'm still that competitive, but trying to go through this process of learning to love racing again this year, and being a little more patient with myself, and understanding that it isn't linear. You can enjoy this thing again, and have fun racing, and still do really good. Like, I've come out of being the dude that will go back and pedal around the parking lot for 5 minutes because it says an hour and 30 minutes on the you can also just ride with your buddies and have fun and still do your training. You don't have to be out there by yourself, no stopping, staring at the Garmin, being this lunatic human being. That kind of took the fun out of it. So to be with the said, I don't really know I would say learning to love the racing itself, that I've never actually done. I've always loved riding. Learning to love racing is one goal that I have. And then also coming back to be the person I was. Dude, I was a bad dude, when it came to line selection and thinking outside of the box and being able to put the bike places that other people couldn't. And yeah, I had weaknesses for sure, but I want to get back to that. Right now, we tested my hamstring at the physio yesterday. It was my right hamstring's 160 pounds of force. My left hamstring's now 105, 110. So it's not quite there, but it's getting better. And that's going to take some time. And I don't feel it on the bike or on the moto and stuff like that. But when you race those World Cup tracks where tenths are won and lost by these big compressions and this ability to hold yourself up through gnarly impacts, yeah, there's definitely a factor that it's going to take some time. It'll probably take into the season for me to come back to be 100%, but I think maybe I can accomplish the things I never was able to before if I can actually learn to enjoy the racing a bit more, and understanding that it may not go your way, and you may just be laying in the woods, but you have to be willing to fail to really succeed. And if you're always afraid to fail, you're never really going to let yourself free to do the thing that you're looking to do.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to fail more times than you're going to win, and you're going to fail a lot trying to win. And if you're just terrified to fail, how can you win?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the thing I want to look back at, and just understand that it's all you can really do is show up and give it your best effort. And if it doesn't go your way, put your boots back on and go try to do it again the next week.
Yeah. I think that's sick. I feel for where you're at with this injury, but then going into new team, you got a couple years ahead of you, which is security. It also means you've got a lot of runway to approach things, and not, maybe not feel like your back's against the wall with a lot of stuff. So
yeah, I mean, definitely when it's a contract year, you're always and especially with my injury, I was sitting in the chair and I was this is not good. And then I'm halfway through the season and I'm like shitting bricks. Like, it's your livelihood, and it's like,
Yeah.
how fast can you guys forget that? Like, I'm looking for a ride, and it's like, how fast can you guys forget what I did last year, or like who I was the last 2 years? Like, I fell down. Like, I was pissed because I'm like, the year before, I'm in intense. I literally fell down and got a flat tire and was 0.2 off in sixth place at Mount St. Anne, laying on the ground. And it's like, and rode a flat to the finish line. And it's like, so it's just funny. Like, I'm like, but I'm still like, what it's, and I mean, it's honestly like silly season, and your name gets thrown around, but you don't always hear it. And like, you know what I mean? Like, usually you don't hear until you're given an offer, like if anybody's interested and stuff, and you're just like, but when you're not the shiny thing, it's like, sucks.
Yeah, for sure. Totally.
When you're not the boy at the time, it's mentally very hard, very hard. It was stressful going to those, like, that was the only reason I went to the US Open. I was like, I have to make something happen. Got to become shiny again. And that was like my best, I felt like that was the best chance I had of doing it.
Was your shiniest moment.
Yeah.
That and fourth at MSA, but
yeah, that was
you're
sick,
glowing.
That was a little bit late at that point in time. Came a little late. I needed a fourth about 3 weeks before. So, I mean, and I did good at Worlds, and that helped for sure. Champoree is no joke, and it was pretty hard physically to get that result with my condition, let's call it. I don't know. What do you want to say, dude? Like,
your condition sounds pretty funny.
Yeah, my handicap. But I was, dude, I was like a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest. I'm like, what do you guys want from me, dude? Like, I'm literally crippled over here, and I'm just doing my best.
Oh my god!
I'm gonna grow another leg anytime soon. So.
Who do you think was the shiniest competition this offseason of people going to other teams?
I mean, the two dudes that were running in the front, Colby was ripping, and so was Ocean, and they both signed deals pretty early. So, Colby's crushed it. Like, he's done really well the last few years, and he's won a World Cup. So if you've won a World Cup, you're valuable. People really like that.
Yeah. I got kind of a random-ish question, but talking about sponsorship type stuff, I think probably a lot of people know what you probably go to teams with and try to pitch yourself as, right? Like, as Dakotah Norton, the athlete. I'm kind of curious, like, what does Scott want, or are they looking for? Like, of course they'd be like, oh yeah, win the World Cup overall and win Worlds, but is there more to that like, I don't know, is interesting or you could dive into?
I think there's always a lot of value to be an American rider. Obviously they want a dude that's going to be on the box, and with the limited value there is now, if you're not on the podium, 3-man podium, really hard to achieve, to now they're looking for the top guys. And they don't really like, it's kind of cutthroat now, and it's pretty tight, and they're looking for a dude that can put it on the box. And as well, honestly, like, the podcast and the fan base and the persona, I think, is something that really helps me, and something that I think really they valued is who I am, which is also something that was like, like, I might not be Bruni, like just the machine, but like some of these dudes are pretty hard to beat, and they're like, and honestly, it's like, sometimes I feel like I'm bringing a bit of a knife to a gunfight, like with some of the top guys, because they're have really good support systems and teams that are like fully committed behind them, and they're making a lot of money. And when you make a lot of money, you can pay for a lot of things that maybe I wouldn't pay for. And that's just the reality of the situation. Like, that's why you look at Supercross and Kenny and Chase and the dudes that they literally just dropped their training facility dudes are it's hard to, and I'm getting there. Like I'm have a good funding and a good backing now, and I don't feel like I always have like the full support system that some of the other guys have, like just to like help like some of these dudes just have their right hand man, and I'm still feel like I'm trying to find that person in that kind of support system that can help take a little bit off so I can just kind of focus on some other things. But that is also who I am. Like I'm wired. I'm like kind of like the dude that does all of his own stuff, and like I think that's why people look at me as kind of like the people's downhill racer, not like the normal man,
Mhm.
like not because
For
I'm not.
sure.
I'm definitely, you put me and Jackson, we're in two very different categories.
Yeah.
I compete with the dude. He's obviously like really good, but I beat him, and I beat all those dudes. Maybe not every one of those dudes on one day, but I beat all those dudes. Every one of those dudes, I beat them individually.
Mhm.
So it's all the pieces to the puzzle to come together to have that perfect day, and for everything to be great. Everything has to be your way. Everything has to be thought through, and you have to execute on top of that and have maybe a little bit of luck. Some of those dudes are just that good. So I think that's the kind of the thing that that Scott was maybe a little bit drawn to, was my how I'm perceived within the community. I think is,
Mhm.
and that's something I'm really proud of. It's not
Yeah,
something
that's
I'd
sick.
put on. I've just been myself, and I think people really respect that in a world where everything is kind of sugar coated.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So what's our kickback?
Jason's looking for his.
I'll send you guys a Christmas card.
Yeah. Well, Christmas is pretty far away now, so that is funny. Yeah, Scott's like, yeah, Vital. I don't think we do shit with them. This is working out pretty well for us.
Honestly, that was a lot of that was Ben Walker was like, yo, like doing this and you're doing that, and
Yeah.
and that made me feel really good that because I do kind of do a lot of stuff, and I'm involved in a lot of things, and I'm a World Cup downhill racer, but I'm also like a two-wheeled athlete, and a lot of people don't even realize a lot of the stuff I do on the moto and that kind of side of my life, and like how hard I work at that as well as I do it downhill. I mean, obviously it goes hand in hand, but I put a lot into being kind of a good two-wheeled athlete in general.
Yeah. Well, and it's genuine. I think that's probably the biggest one, right? Like it's real in who you are because, dude, we definitely live in a media world of dime a dozen. There's just kind of a lot of the same, and then there's a lot of it. People just kind of get burned out where, yeah, you're unique, but then also you're transparent and you feel probably more accessible to a lot of people. Like I think the podcast is a good platform for that. I mean, I think we've talked about in the past, like surely it's I'm glad that Scott recognized that, but surely brands have to realize that,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was kind of cool that they just valued me as a person. And
Mhm.
I felt like that was like, yeah, of course, me as the athlete and what I'm capable of doing. They're not, like I said, they've been around for a while. They've been up and down. Athletes get hurt. It takes time for athletes to come back. It felt like an eternity for me, but when you look back at it, it's like did that pretty quick.
Mhm.
And a lot of dudes can't. They can't turn it back around like that. Or even the mental side of it, like you get really hurt, dude. It's you hear it all the time. Oh yeah, I used to ride and tore my shoulder up, and that was about enough for me. And it's like, yeah, well, you can't walk and you're in a wheelchair. It's like there's a pretty big mental block to going back and being willing to put yourself right back where you were.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, I think that's something that's cool about Scott that like most people don't notice though is they do care about their athletes and riders as like more than just what they are competing in. It's
Mhm.
like more of like a holistic kind of thing. So yeah.
Yeah, it's solid, man. So I went over and toured the factory and checked out you know, how they do everything over there, and dude, it's pretty cool. Like the building and like the museum that they have there, and it's rad. It's really cool. It's really a cool space. So, yes, I'm stoked to like have a fleet of bikes that I'm stoked to ride, if that makes sense. Like, really excited.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, let's run through what other sponsors you guys have. Like, what gear are you wearing?
Scott.
Okay, makes sense.
Scott gear.
What helmets? Do they make helmets?
Bluegrass.
Okay.
Yeah.
You still with there's no way you're wearing 100%. I'm assuming you're wearing Scott.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I love you. I still love 100%, but now I love Scott.
510 still?
510 still. Yeah.
Okay. And then is it Fox Shimano full kit?
Fox Shimano.
Okay.
Shimano. Hopefully I'm not blowing the case here. Mishi DT Swiss.
Sick.
So I'm super pumped to ride DT Swiss wheels. I think
Mhm.
that'll be awesome. Been a while since I've been on aluminum wheels. And yeah, they tend to rip. I still love everyone. Everyone still makes great products. Everything's good at something, and some things are good at something in other ways. You know,
it's, really covers his bases here.
I'm not burning any bridges because I'm very fortunate. Like, dude, I've had this like really loyal group of sponsors, and I'm like, every product is good. Like, they're all but you can't. I don't really think you can buy bad stuff anymore. Well, you can, but most people don't buy the bad stuff. It's way harder to do, you know. And I think
you almost have to seek it out at this point.
Yeah,
that's on you.
And you know, there's like, I don't know a whole lot about the Michelin, and I'm excited because they look like they have like a really good aggressive tire, and I know the mud tire is supposed to be really good, and I think the compounds are really good. And the reality is, we worked really hard to develop a really good tire at Maxxis, like really good. And there's like a lot of projects I had my little fingers in that are about to come to fruition that I ain't in no more. I did a lot of work to not see some benefits, you know. But like, dude, you know, and they would come up here and test with me, and we'd test in the off season, and I'd talk to Sean on the phone all the time, the engineer at Maxxis, and he'd deal with my hour-long rants all the time. So it's a bummer. Like, it's sad, and I really love everyone down there at Maxxis. That was like a family, you know. And it's not goodbye. It's maybe see you later, or maybe not. I don't know. It might be see you later, but
see you in 3 years.
Maybe.
But you're kind of in the like right in there with all the tire manufacturers, because you know Michelin's real close to you in South Carolina.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
You can go see Randy up there. You ride some moto.
Randy, I have seen Randy everywhere. Randy has no clue who I am. Randy about to know. No, dude, I see him at the track all the time.
Who is Randy?
Yeah, he has no idea who I am. Randy Richardson.
Randy's got he can't race like vet worlds or something like that because he has Supercross points.
Yeah,
from like
senior
the
citizen.
90s.
Yeah, senior citizen. Same. He's not in 30 either, but he knows Luca and Walker. He'll come up, talk to those guys. Has no clue who I am.
He is.
But
awesome.
Hey, yeah. But I do love Dunlop, but I could love Michelin, I think. Come on. Put him on this thing. Stark wants it.
BFG, same family.
Yeah. Hey, they've got some of my money too. No, it's kind of funny how that stuff goes. Like, you know, and even like I've had so many sponsors over the year. Like, I'm still good with everybody at TRP, good with everybody at Shimano, good with everybody at SRAM, RockShox. Like, it's just the nature of the beast, and the reality is, like, the cool thing that I've learned is everybody, even Hervé at 100%, everybody at Maxxis, man, they're just cool. They're just happy to see me continue to do what I love and have the support to go race, and just want the best for me, which is like been something that's been really, really cool, you know. You know, I told everybody I want to keep long-term relationships. I want to keep working with the people that are around me, but the reality is, you know, they understand that these are packaged things, and not everybody can run everything, you know. There's
Yeah.
got to be diversity to have multiple race teams. So
Yeah.
excited to see some new faces and meet some new people and grow my friends group.
So Tanner had a really good question on here, kind of related to this.
Boy.
What are you doing about handlebars?
Do you think I'm going to turn them upside down or something?
I mean, not many people make
So Scott
75s
makes,
or whatever, do
Scott makes a negative drop bar. That was like it was like negative 30 or something like that.
Yeah.
That was with the
running
one
it
that
up-
need. Yeah. So you flipping that and
I'm running it upside down, dude.
whole lot of back
Hey.
sweep too.
Hey, you keep talking all that smack, you might not get a signature model.
Come on, man.
Well, Dan, your gambler is going to look awesome with a set of my bars on there.
I know. I'm waiting for it.
Stacked up.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh, dude.
What? Because what? Did the team run Renthal or they went Synchros or whatever?
Synchros.
synchros.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have a one-piece bar stem at 90 mil rise, or what's this gonna be?
I got a
What's
90.
on the bike right now?
I can't answer that question. That's why it's not. When you ask me to put it behind me, it's not behind me. Yeah, we're working. I mean, it's January 1st. What do you want from me? We're doing our best. It's January 2nd. We're doing our best here. Do you think they could just pop a set of 75? Do you think they were making 75s before me? They were like probably.
Ooh.
Well, they probably should have been.
They should have been clearly.
Oh,
Clearly they were
So-
confused before.
So we're getting some high rise synchros.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Sick. And then what other bikes are you excited to ride? What bike are you aside from your gambler?
You're really putting me on the spot right now because I don't fully know all the names of all the bikes.
You're an e-bike guy.
Yeah, it's the Patron.
The
Patron.
patron. Yeah.
Patron. Yeah,
Yeah.
that thing. I got one of those down there. I actually haven't ridden it yet. I'm really. I know.
Dog,
I've had it. I've
You
had
know
it for
you're one of like 2 of those in the US.
Yeah, and I've had it down there for like a month, and I just haven't ridden it yet. And now I almost went and rode it today.
Hey.
Actually, I wish I could tell you how good it is, but
For your-
it's charging right now.
For the people though, it did snow in Knoxville, and has been very cold.
It's been cold, and I honestly it was dirt bike season, you know, and now I've started pedaling a bit more. But also, like I was doing a lot of riding in public places and stuff. So I did want things to be a little bit of a surprise, and I have rode my downhill bike, and we did the video release on a very public day, and I don't think anybody put me in the Vital Forum. I didn't see it, so thanks to everybody that but it was funny. Everybody wanted every time somebody saw me, they're just pulling their phone out. Like they're like,
You're like,
dude,
no.
oh dude, it's on the
Yeah.
internet. I was turn them GoPros off. I see that GoPro, I see the light blinking, brother.
Yeah.
GoPro, stop recording.
Yeah. No, but everybody's super cool, and yeah, I'm really excited. I just
Did you get
Got
one of
that
them road
puppy?
bikes?
not yet, but I have one coming.
Okay.
I'm stoked. So I'm stoked. What is that? That's the Addict.
Yeah.
So the Addict looks insane. I've never in my career had a really nice road bike. And Scott, like with all the synchros parts, like makes some sick wheels and like the rad bar stem combo, which
Dude.
it looks really good. So I'm really excited about that, and should get some sweet Shimano group for it. What is that? Durace?
Yeah, Durace. Yeah.
The Durace?
That's incredible that you didn't quite know Durace.
Yeah, I know it's Durace. I just being funny.
You're gonna
But-
get some of them Spire shoes as well.
Yeah. I'm getting a
bright
set of.
blue.
I am getting a set of lace ups. I'm stoked
Okay.
on that. And we have what is it? The Scale. The Scale is the XC
Okay.
bike, I think.
Yep.
Not the Spark. The Scale, like the
Yeah.
121.
The hardtail.
No, I want the full sus.
The Spark. That's
That
the
is
Spark.
Spark. It is the
Yeah.
Spark.
It's just not the RC
Mhm.
is like their more aggressive one, right?
Yeah, they make that's like the one that I had. It's the regular
Isn't there-
Spark.
That bike
Yeah.
The
is
Scale
really
is the
fun.
hardtail. So
Mm.
you were right. That's the
I'm
XC
out
hardtail.
on the Scale.
Well, you
Yeah.
almost got it all right.
Yeah.
On the next
And-
podcast, Dakotah lists off
Yeah.
all Scott bikes.
No,
Yeah.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. It's honestly hard to learn an entire catalog.
Mm.
It is quite tough.
Well, I
But
got a
no,
question.
I'm pumped.
I got a question to put you on the spot. Have you ridden those new Shimano brakes, those big ass ones that we saw floating around?
I have not actually.
Do yours on
I-
XTRs?
At the moment, yes.
Mm.
I'm actually on old Saints at the old Saints at the moment, but I'm gonna hopefully get some of those XTRs because we ran them when we were on Mondraker was on Shimano, and they wanted me to go test that new brake in California right before we switched to SRAM, and I already knew we were going to SRAM, but I don't think Shimano knew we were going to SRAM, and they're like, "Hey, can you?" And I'm like, "Nope, can't." And I was like, "Surely you can." Nope, I'm not. I'm like, I am not getting in this. I'm not gonna. That's like
Oh.
I can't say that on the podcast actually.
That's just like that's like in the
Still-
time it might have seemed like not nice of you, but like looking back on it, that was a nice thing for you to do
yeah, it's
for
never
all
good
parties.
when you're like still hanging out with the ex-girlfriend while you're talking to the new girlfriend, and it gets to be like I'm not trying to get involved in any of that drama. Hey, let me just go see all the secrets that you guys are developing, and then just psych.
You mind if I take some photos?
These things are really good.
Can I get the data too from all this?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I wasn't getting too involved in that. So I actually do hope, and that's like with the team change, I don't know how many people know until it's like more of a public thing. Like, but I'm hoping that maybe I can get my little mitts on a set of those. I seen
Mhm.
Richie had some last year, and Jackson, and I'm sure they have to be like getting more samples by now. So hopefully I can get my little mitts on them and see what they're all about.
Yeah. If I had to guess, they sure look a lot more Maven-esque power.
Yeah.
They're just big.
Dude, the Maven was hard to get used to, but now that I've gotten used to it, they're super powerful, and they're awesome. Like they're a really good brake. And there's definitely like a learning curve. And when it's slippery, they can be like, you just are programmed, like your muscle memory is to grab too much brake. And but I mean, it's SRAM
Those
has
are
some
old
really,
problems.
yeah, SRAM has some really cool stuff coming out, and it's like, it's always like you were stoked about some things, bummed about some, excited for others, and it's just the way it goes.
Yeah. So I have a question. Obviously, I'm sure you talked to like a handful of teams, but like, what was the biggest thing that you're looking for in a team now versus like maybe 5-6 years ago? Like, let's just say coming off junior, like versus like what you're looking for then, and then what you're looking for now, because you've obviously developed a lot more, and you've been in the process of making bikes and all that, like helping develop the bikes and all that stuff, versus back then when you just got on a bike and you're on a team and just happy to be on a team.
Yeah, that's a great question, Tanner. For me, environment is so important now. There's all kinds of shiny products, and there's a lot of great tech and race engineers, but if you don't feel supported to go up there and swing for the fence and throw it all away and know that you're going to come down to the pit and you're going to get a big hug and people are going to pat you on the back, and part of that is like how you treat everyone too, but it can be, how do I want to say this? Being treated like an athlete, being respected, you can't make anyone love you for sure. But you can expect people to communicate and at least try to have a good understanding of who you are as a person and what you're looking for and why you are the way you are. And, our sport's really gnarly, and, it's scary. And to do those runs, you know, it takes a lot of risk, and race days are hard, and there's a lot of pressure on us to perform. And if it was easy, then everybody would do it, you know. And it's, you got to understand that, you know, there's a lot of these racers they all deal with race day a lot different. And some of them have done it longer. And you know, for someone that's an example that comes to mind for me is Valley Hall. She ain't talking. She don't speak.
Mm-hmm.
She don't look at anybody. Like, she ain't riding the lift with anybody. Like, she's in the pit and she doesn't even look at the wall. She's like looking at the semi the whole way and back, and the hooks are left into the semi with the blinker and the hazards are on at all times, you know? We all deal with the pressure differently, and it's understanding like how hard it is to do what we do. And for me, the big thing is environment and being heard, like being able to communicate, being able to and if the answer may always be no, that it may be a compromise, it may be possible, and it may be you're crazy. But just being able to have the communication to be heard and be respected and yeah, be taken care of. That's the environment and the people, and that's the most important thing for me. And eating good, sleeping good. Like, you always want the fancy thing, and they're always trying to bolt some fancy thing onto your bike, you know. And having the new greatest best is a variable, and it could not. Like, it took me a while to understand that the people is so important, and the environment, and the relationships. I think that's way more than any other thing.
Yeah.
If you're bummed on the people around you, no amount of tech can really help you be successful. And also, like, you can have all the best tech, and if you don't do the basics really well, you're not going to be successful.
Yeah.
I don't give a crap how big the truck is or how
Yeah.
cool you want things to be, or like, you can have the biggest truck in the world, and if you don't sleep well and you're in a crappy bed, probably not going to do very well. You know, like, it's
You
just
can have the biggest truck in the world, but you also might be sleeping in that truck.
exactly. It's you know, I think the thing I've learned so much, like, of my years, is sometimes the cart gets put before the horse time and time again. Like, let's just keep the horse pulling the cart and maybe we'll get somewhere. It's so simple. Like, the team is there to support the riders. The only person that can pedal out of the starting gate and do the thing is the rider. You know, like, no, if like the bike, you can have whatever strap to it you want. You can have the whatever. It's just gonna fall over.
All the doohickeys.
You can put whatever the hell you want on it.
All 17 pieces of flare.
Yeah, I mean, dude, they can have all. You can have all the downforce you want. If you don't have somebody to push the gas, it ain't going nowhere. No, I'm just being funny, but that's it, dude. Like, at the end of the day, like, it is sometimes like the show gets put before the go, and I think people forget how important the go is from time to time, and that's like with a lot of stuff in life, I think, but for sure in racing.
Yeah.
In all aspects of racing. It's not World Cup downhill, it's all things, you know.
Yeah. I feel like Scott's kept it pretty low key with their team and stuff for the last, like, they don't have the flashy riders and that kind of thing. So
they definitely have on the XC side for sure.
On the XC side, but like on the downhill side, it's kind of been pretty low key, and people don't know like the resources they have and all of that. And like you were saying, Ben Walker and like him, like being a sick rider himself and developing bikes and, you know, being a machinist to an extent and stuff, and like working on the bikes is like a pretty cool resource to have.
Oh yeah, and I mean, Julian, how fast his brain works, like his processing ability is like incredible, dude. Like, I feel like that dude is like moving, he's 7 steps ahead at all times. Like, it's crazy to see how his brain works. And just like when you go, like, all these bike companies have like super incredible offices, right? Showpiece offices, and come from awesome buildings and have awesome staff. But like you said, like I think a lot of people don't realize like how, especially in the US, but definitely for me too, like Scott's been low key and they like do a lot of things really well, and it's just kind of they're not like I don't know. It's not, they don't push it forward a lot. And I think that's a lot of the reason they were like kind of also like interested in me too, is like I can kind of show a lot of the cool stuff that they're making and show it in like the US market. And it's like, dude, like the kit, the like even like the kits they're building, like I went over to do like a body scan and so I could have all the kit fitted to me, and like just like a lot of the aerodynamic materials they're using and
You got a
lot of the
onesie coming?
Nah, no onesie, but definitely a
Ah.
lot of aerodynamic materials and just cool stuff. Like it's
Form fitting.
yeah.
Show them curves.
Oh dude. I'm curvy at the moment, all right. You don't want to see this curve.
In a cold off season.
Dude, it was a rough year. Yeah. Cortisol was high, brother.
It's hollow body. You
Yeah,
got
dude,
that hollow body right now.
Yeah, I'm thick.
Has
No,
mama been cooking or what?
they're back in the South, brother. No, I think it was all that olive oil, dude. The olive oil with the Spanish was tough. They're hard on the olive oil for your boy. No, it's definitely ate a lot of food, tried to get as strong as I could, as quick as I could. I wasn't really too worried about another kg. I needed a couple more pounds on the old squat rack to survive out there at the World Cup. So now I'm about to put that road bike to good use, dude.
Yeah, or chiseling.
Yeah. Nose on that stem.
Talking about Scott maybe being a little quieter on the marketing front, at least on the World Cup scene. Do you guys have any plans to do vlogs or team videos from each weekend?
I don't know what they're going to do for that. I'm definitely going to do a welcome edit, and I have some more. They're going to support some more video projects for me, which is really cool. Allow me to do a little more socially. And yeah, I do really want to do some vlogs, and I'm trying to find the right person to help me do that. So if y'all trying to film, pull up.
Pull up to the scene.
Pull up to the scene with the ceiling missing.
Yeah, Deck, when are we getting the boys at it? We got Wiley on the team now.
Yeah, dude.
That's a good point.
We got a crew.
I'll ride Scott. I don't care.
We might need to just bring the boys out to back me up at the first round. You know, get this thing fired up and get it running. Support team.
Dude, the first round's in Korea now.
Well, maybe not the first round.
What?
Yeah,
that was a non-DAC team talk question I had. Is what's the vibe on going to Asia and then also having a World Cup in Whistler?
Well, hopefully they keep us out of the Whistler Village, because this could be the demise of a lot of people's Whistler World Cup could be the demise of a lot of contracts. That's a lot of
temptation.
A lot of temptation, dude. A lot of temptation. Wow, that's rough. A lot of dudes don't go to Crankworks for that reason. Go off the deep end real quick. But no, I think though, like, it's gonna be different. Like, the big thing with Korea, like what we were hearing about is like they were like surprised when we were even talking about cooking food. Like, I think Asian culture is a lot different. Like, they buy like pre-cooked packaged stuff. They're like, you're gonna cook. They were like amazed. They're like, you want to rent a car, like things like that. They were like, so I don't know what it's really going to be like, but I don't think a lot of things we take for granted and assume, I think, are going to be quite challenging in that place.
Mm-hmm.
I heard the logistics is a very difficult thing, at least talking to like some team people, as far as like you were saying, like cars, like just getting a big enough van, or like having to have multiple vans probably for most teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you can't just rent a box truck super easily.
Yeah, you ain't going to the U-Haul just grabbing one, you know? So I think it's going to be quite challenging. And then also, like, they want to do like all the team shooting elsewhere, and I don't know. There's a lot going on, but it's gonna be. I just think for round one, it's exciting. They want to get people but for like a lot of people with new teams, and I think it's going to be quite challenging. But I'm always excited for a new track. I tend to historically, maybe not in America, but historically I've done good at new events. I had good capabilities to do good at Lake Placid until I was in the weeds, but
hey, that'll happen.
yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting the first round. At least everyone's sort of in a similar playing field outside of I guess people like you that are changing teams, but at least it's first, I guess. I don't know. Dude, but then from there you're like kind of can only go up with familiarity. So
yeah, I think the thing I'm most excited about is the schedule looks a little more forgiving next year to come home some. This year was really hard. Like you pretty much got shipped off and you were in Europe. So that was a little rough.
Totally. Yeah. And it's what? Is it 8 rounds next year instead of 10? Is that what it is? Or is it still 10?
It was 8 this year, I think, and 8 next year.
It was 10 this year.
Was it 10? I don't know. I can't speak on the topic. Haven't checked.
No. Literally the only thing during the year you have to do.
Yeah. Well, either you're ready for round one or you're not. The rest of the rounds, no matter how many there are, you just
tell me where to be.
Ready for you got to be ready for the first one.
All right. Well, I've gone through all my questions, and we are just at an hour ish.
Got
anything else you guys want to talk about?
I haven't said anything incriminating yet.
Unfortunately, no.
Yeah, I don't think so.
That's what I said. I was like, they're gonna try to get something out of me and get me in trouble.
Nothing too juicy, but maybe I'll just put this up early.
What's the date? What's your embargo date?
7th, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so soon.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Should be good.
All right.
Yeah, so I'm about to be doing it big, doing it live, doing it brand new, you know?
Yeah. When are we going out to Tennessee?
Freaking never at this point.
Yeah, like Jason flaked last time. He'll probably flake next time too, so
I need to get my gambler, and then we can go out there and ride bikes.
Yeah, you should come out, dude. It'd be cooler if you did. Worked out great last time, other than Jason flaking.
Yeah, that did suck. Maybe we will get out there for the national. That would be kind of fun.
Jason didn't get to ride the gambler, and because it wasn't out yet during their bike test. So
that is true.
Maybe we try and get a third gambler for Jason to ride, and he can do a bike review.
Nice.
We can do that. I'm down.
We can just have ourselves a big Scott week.
Scott now.
Yeah.
Well, I'll take some ski goggles. I'm stoked.
Dude, yeah.
I'm trying to get some skis, really.
I don't ski. I'll take them.
I have Scott running shoes, and they're pretty nice, actually.
Yeah.
Talk about diversifying their assets. Holy shit, they got a lot of stuff.
Their their jackets are so nice. Like so nice. But stuff that I don't deserve to have. That I went for like the team kit, and the lady was really nice, and she was like, I have some samples. Put this in your bag. Put this in your bag. How about this? I was like, yeah, that looks great. I'll take that one too. But it's like, dude, they have like rad materials, and the stuff is super high quality, and all the ripstop stuff and Gore-Tex, and like they use the best stuff and have a great team to make some really quality products. So I'm pumped. I'm not going to be cold this winter, G.
Hopefully you'll have some sick kits during the season too. You're not going to be stuck in the same kit all year.
No, well, we'll race in the same kit, but they'll do different kits for every week, essentially, like something like relatively every week, and then we'll race in one kit, which is like what Specialized did this year, and the kits look cool.
Sick.
Rad.
No more Blue Man Crew.
Yeah.
Broke up the band.
Power Rangers are done, dude.
R.I.P.
I was feeling blue.
You guys all were.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna cut this thing off. We can
Yeah.
keep chatting once we're done recording. But thanks everybody for listening. Thank you, Maxis, Berg Tech, Jensen USA, and hopefully we will do one of these before South Korea. But who knows?
Yeah, we for sure will.
Okay,
Later.
we'll do one
Yeah.
before then. Peace.
See ya.